Sweet home Talladega, where the skies are blue and we're bringing the action home to you here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's coverage of a top shelf auto detailing 250 round 6 of a 2018 AdPro 360 Challenger Series. Hi, I'm Samuel Ryman and alongside me in the booth is Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes we have our director Joe Peake, who will be doing in all of the button pushing using camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Sean, even Jean Girard couldn't pull off a win at this place, and it's safe to say that conquering this beast is a daunting task even for the greatest of racing drivers, fictional or non.
Sam, always great when we get that Ricky Bobby reference right off the top here at Talladega. And listen, before we get onto this track information, Top Shelf Mobile Detailing is the sponsor of today's Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250 from Talladega. And that is Raleigh, North Carolina's most experienced auto detailing company for over 35 years. Top Shelf Mobile Detailing has been making rides look new again. Call Robert over there. Give him a shot. 919-883-7497. All right, Sam, here we are. Talladega Motor Speedway. 2.66 miles, 33 degrees of bad fast banking, 96 laps today. Sam, this opened in 1969. And Talladega was first called Alabama International Motor Speedway. That name held until 1989 when it became Talladega Superspeedway. On March 24th, 1970, Buddy Baker turned a lap at 200.447 miles per hour in a Dodge Daytona, shattering a barrier once thought impossible to reach, and became the first person to drive a stock car on a closed course at more than 200 miles an hour. Since it opened in 1969, Talladega has produced 10 first-time NASCAR Premier Series winners. Only 4 of the 10, Davey Allison, Kenny Schrader, Brad Keselowski, and Brian Vickers, ever won another race at NASCAR's top level. Sam, this is a historic place, one that I've had the pleasure of going to many times. And, we're not going to do a traditional lap guide today, but what we'll do is we'll watch some of this field get around here during what is now qualifying. Just the closing minutes of qualifying going on right now. They only have 5 minutes to qualify today. You get one lap around, and that is it.
Yeah, traditionally with this series, we've seen 3 cars go out at a time and they basically shared the track with each other for their qualifying format. However, because at Talladega the air is just so sensitive, it appears that they have gave each driver the track to themselves. Now, there was discussion over whether it would just be one and done for these drivers in qualifying. However, it looks like all of the drivers are running the high line on the opening lap and going down low for their second lap, a traditional qualifying line here at this 2.66 mile super speedway. Two things are for sure, Sean. Your best time is going to be on lap 2, and the times are going to be very, very close.
Yeah, Sam, decision made by the league today to go to this format on the super speedways and the super speedways only. So we do have a bit of a curveball for everybody here this week at Talladega. Right now, Steve Durham sits on the provisional pole. Richard Regan just goes up there of 53.454. John Theodore just slots in the second, and Michael Snow follows him in there. Boy, all kinds of changes going on now here at the top, Sam.
Yeah, number 46 of Richard Regan Jr. holding onto it right now. But as you mentioned, Sean, still got a little bit of time left for qualifying. And a major, huge field out here today. The league organisers have opened this up to their drivers from the other divisions within the league. We have a 33-car field last time I checked. I wouldn't be surprised if that number's increased a little bit.
They even went out and got retired broadcasters. I see Chris Scala's in this field. Who let that guy in here?
Well, Chris Scala is one of the regulars in this league, Sean. However, he's not one of the ones who competes for points in the Challenger Series. Let's have a quick look at those drivers who do compete for points here, how they're doing after 5 rounds.
All right, Sam, let's look at the championship points here now. Let's see where we're at. All right, there we go. Gerald Campbell at the top. Right now, he's got 12 of those championship points there in first, Sam. 132 points to the big there. Second, Josh Tanner. Of course, and what you're seeing, the guys in green there are ones that your top three in the championship points right now. Eisenhower in third, Gabe Wood back there fourth, Terry Galgan fifth right now, Clewell in sixth. It's a little bit of a switch in position there between Galgan and Clewell, but Clewell's got that championship point. William Davis down in seventh, all the way back to Tim Cox there in 14th, and of course Tim scoring himself a championship point there and gets himself into that playoff system, Sam.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the regular season. There'll be 7 playoff races at the end of the season to decide the championship. Let's take a closer look at that with our series details, as qualifying is finishing off right now. No one's been able to knock Richard Reagan Jr. off of the top spot as of yet. But yeah, here we go. Here are our series details. We are this is round 6 of 16 in the regular season. Then we go to the playoffs. As we mentioned, this is the Challenger Series, the Xfinity Series, if you will, for the AdPro 360 guys. They're going to be racing fixed setups. And a couple of unique things about the way this league is run. They try and make it as realistic as possible. That means we do get green-white-checkered. And these drivers are limited on tyres as well as fuel. Fortunately, Sean, that shouldn't play as much of a role here tonight as it has at other races, just because of the way Talladega is not exactly the most abusive circuit on tyres.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, Sam. I don't think tires will really be an issue for anybody this evening. 96 laps, though. You'll take a set at some point. Maybe sometime around that second. You might go through 2 sets. Maybe you've got 2 segments that you're going to have to come in for, so you might as well go ahead and take them there. Use those 2 sets. So I think at best you'll use 3 of those 5 allotted sets to you today, but really shouldn't be an issue. The weather, it's actually a really nice day. It's mostly cloudy. It's only 80 degrees outside and just over 90 degrees on track. We got 89 degrees here when we started. So it's going to heat up a little bit. But Sam, I don't think that's going to be the big factor here today. I think what's going to be the big factor are these drivers and how they, are they going to play nice in the sandbox around each other? That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, I see. Gerald Campbell, one of the major names in this series to date, he's only able to qualify 25th, so that'll be interesting to see what he's able to do in the middle of the field. And that should wrap it up for qualifying. It's going to be a few more minutes until they get gridded up for the race, but I believe they're going to be having a drivers' meeting because there's such a large field. Brush over the rules, make sure we get a clean race in here today. But your pole sitter is going to be the number 46 of Richard Reagan Jr. He is the round 6 winner of a Sim Speed Shop Pole Award. And for every 2 poles this season, the driver earns $5. And the driver with the most poles at the end of the season earns $20, courtesy of simspeedshop.com. A great place to order custom button boxes, as well as to buy and sell used equipment. For more information, go to simspeedshop.com.
Sam, Gerald Campbell, hats off to Richard Reagan, but, Gerald Campbell, we talked about his qualifying effort. It's the only, I don't know if we mentioned it, but he is the only driver to win 2 races this season. Gabriel Wood has led 131 laps this season, but he has to take a home win. Josh Tanner, cleanest driver right now so far in the top 10 this season. So lots of things going on here. This is round 6, still an awful lot of racing to go, but man, the playoffs, I keep talking about the championship, but the playoffs will be here before we know it. And this race, just as important as the rest of them, you really, really got to be careful tonight and really try and find a way to position yourself in this top 10 by the time that checkered flag drops.
Well, and also, Sean, this is the second super speedway race of the season. The driver who won the opening one at Daytona, the season opener, Adam Eisenhower, okay, sure, he's been top 10, top 15 contender throughout the season, but we haven't really seen him fight in for wins week in and week out. But we could see another Adam Eisenhower easily tonight, an Xfinity, or rather Challenger Series regular, grab that checkered flag, and all of a sudden they're not going to have to worry about making sure they're fighting up front, scoring points for the next 10 rounds. They know they're locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, Sam. And you know what? Another factor tonight, look for a lot of team work to be going on. Early reports are, I've heard from some of the drivers, that the teams are got a plan. Everybody has a little bit of different strategy, but they will play a big factor. There's going to be a lot of protecting teammates this evening. I don't want to say team orders will be in play, but look for Aegis, Motorsports, and CCR, those guys to be on track a lot together this evening. I know there are a couple of teams that have a couple of things in store for the rest of the field. Now, I think if you're any kind of an independent driver, I hope you've got a few friends and that you can work with someone, because, Sam, I don't have to tell you what it means to lose the draft here. Once you've lost it, it's very, very, very unlikely you're just going to get it back without a little bit of luck and or a caution flag.
Now, another thing we mentioned a little while ago, Sean, we mentioned how this series likes to add realism by limiting the amount of tyres that the drivers can have during the race. They like to have the green-white-checkered format that they've created for the end of this race, for the end of these races, if a caution does come out in the closing laps. Another thing, they do stage racing, so we will have a caution at lap 25 and a caution at lap 50 today. And then it will be 46 laps to end the race. So that makes up 96 laps in total, all 250 miles. And the other interesting number there, of course, Sean, is a fuel window. You've got enough fuel to make it to the end of stage 1 and 2, but you will have to make a stop at some point within that last stage.
Yep, you're going to need it. And you know what, Sam? I don't know. I wish I'd had a chance to actually practice with these drivers. I would have liked to gotten a little bit more into their heads about strategy. I have an idea how I would play it. I don't know if that'll match up. But you're going to have more fuel then you're going to have, what I'm trying to say is you're going to have enough fuel to make it to that first stage stop. The question is, do you short fuel there? Do you plan for something different? You take just what you need. You want to gain position. You want to get yourself into that top 10. If you find yourself somewhere in the middle of this pack, struggling around somewhere 14th to 23rd, somewhere there, that's a danger zone for me. I need to be up in the top 10 somewhere, or riding way far in the back, letting the game come to me. I do not want to be in the thick of this thing. A lot of practice here was a little sketchy. They were trying to work together, but seemed like a lot of turbulence between the cars when they tried going 3 wide.
All right, well, we do not anticipate any more cars being on track for the closing 2 minutes of qualifying here. But once these 2 minutes are up, the cars will get gridded up down pit road. We're going to take a quick break here on the GSRC. When we come back, we will give you a full rundown of the starting order, and then we'll get ready to go racing. So don't go away. 96 laps of NASCAR racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway is coming up in just moments on the Global SimRacing Channel. Qualifying is over. The cars are getting gridded up to go racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Let's take a look at your starting order. Starting on the front row, the number 46 of Richard Reagan Jr. Divide that number by 2. What do you get? The 23 of Ethan Moore. Mark McFadden will be starting in third place in the 48 machine ahead of Mark Clawell. And then Jeff Martin and Will Davis will be rounding out row 3. Last race's winner, Eric Stanford, will be starting 7th alongside the 98 of David Washington. John Theodore will be starting in 9th place in the 27 machine ahead of Trey Galgon, rounding out the top 10.
All right, row 6, going to start with Chris Scala tonight and Josh Turner. Row 7, Jeremy Crandall, Michael Snow, Snow Motorsports own. Row 8, Blake Griffith, Judd Danielson. Row 9, Andrew Farnyars and Luis Salmaso. I'm sorry. There we go. Luis Salmaso. Row 10, Kyle Kammer and Adam Eisenhower.
Adam Eisenhower, our Daytona winner back there. Number 13 of Gary Sexton will be starting in 21st ahead of Ray Richer. Dylan Jones will be starting behind them ahead of Michael D'Amico. Then Gerald Campbell far back in the field in 25th place ahead of Jason Eisenhower. Our last 3 drivers who turned a qualifying lap were Steve Durham, Gabriel Wood and Kobe Timms. The rest of the field did not turn a lap in qualifying. Sean, that begins with Joe Owen there in 30th.
Okay, and in row 16, they're going to be Donald Stewart, Bernard Marheim. Row 17, Kevin Fetty, Joe Johnson. Row 18, Mike Donahue, Kyle Snodgrass, and the 37th car in tonight's field, Sam Doty.
Yeah, and unfortunately, though, I think he's been having a couple of connection issues. As a matter of fact, I don't see Kobe Timms, Joe Johnson, Samuel Doty, or Kyle Snodgrass, or Drake Owen in the field right now. So that will limit us to 32 cars, but that is still a massive field getting set to do battle here at Talladega, Sean. And it would be very, very cruel for me, I think, to say, hey, who's your pick for tonight?
Who is my pick tonight? Carter has all 4 fenders up tonight. Boy, that's a tough one. I don't have much longer to get this figured out. Who's going to be really lucky here? You know what? I'm taking Blake Griffith. Give me the man from Carolina. Give me Blake Griffith tonight.
Hey, you talk about luck. Let's play that card. I'll say Gary Sexton, the number 13 machine.
There we go.
Well, we're getting set to find out. It'll be a long time until we find out. 96 laps, 3 stages. Can't win the race on the first lap. Can definitely lose it. Of course, some of these drivers will be trying to win it on the first lap because they are not racing for championship points in this division. They may be competing in the Cup division, and that means they're not eligible for the points in the Challenger Series. They're just out here trying to get the win tonight. Does that mean we'll see some of the regular championship contenders come into a bit of confrontation with some more aggressive drivers out there who have nothing to lose? That's a very real possibility. However, these drivers have had a lot of time to practice, and now hopefully it's about to pay off for them, because the Ford Mustang pace car is making the hard left-hand turn. Richard Reagan Jr. has control of the field. He'll bring them all the way around the D oval before the start-finish line ahead of turn number 1. He's still pacing around at 67 miles an hour, but once he gets on the loud pedal, we'll be quickly up to around 200, and that moment is now. Richard Reagan Jr. leads them away, and here we go racing at Talladega Superspeedway.
They've all made it across the start-finish line, Sam. And as you said before, it was 32 strong. 5 did not make this field, unfortunately, to get started, but the battle on the front already ensues. Ethan Moore dropped the 3rd here. Oh, and man. Regan, look at Regan go all the way down into the yellow line. Everybody's going to pass him by.
I think this is on purpose, Sean. It's very surprising to see the pole sitter do this. Normally you see someone play the strategy from the middle of the field.
Wow. He better get back up there and get in this tow. No, Sam, he's got something else going on. He's not even getting back up in line.
Wow, he had a good start. Not entirely sure why what's going on there, but it does allow Ethan Moore to lead the first lap. The outside line, Sean, you mentioned it was dropping back a little bit out of turn 2, but actually got off to a very good start and has held its own well at the completion of lap number 1.
Yeah, Ethan Moore up there leading the way, bringing our old friend Mark Clewell with him. Clewell just grabbing onto that bumper. He's got Will Davis with him, sucking up the 98 in that line. David Washington, the 49 there, Trey Galgan. 5 cars, making it look pretty good up there. Bottom line has the power right now, but not for much longer. Here they come, Sam.
Richard Regan Jr. did get back going again. He's still on the lead lap, about half lap down, and hoping for a quick caution could happen considering how tightly packed this lead pack is as they come around to complete lap number 2. How many cars in this lead pack? Well, I can't tell you. Top 20 cars right now covered by 1.5 seconds.
Oh, this lead pack, there's 11 of them right here, Sam, and then a whole other gaggle of them just behind. Here, again, the top side starting to move a little bit down the back stretch. So far, so good. They're working well together here, Sam.
Yeah, you do see a break after the 20th place car, Jason Eisenhower. They're pretty much single file in their own second pack back there from Andrew Farniar's in 21st place. Trevor Campbell's made up to 22nd. Those guys just logging laps right now.
Yeah, Farniar's the one with the clean air in that mix, sitting there in 21st. Here comes the pack behind, and they've got things going. Gerald Campbell on the way. They could freight train him here, and Farniar smartly kind of moves up the track just a little bit. Tries to break the momentum, but they're going to get him. They're going to get him.
Yeah, well, we just had the lead pack on screen there with Ethan Moore continuing to race Mark McFadden on the inside for the lead. Top 13 are kind of breaking away into their own pack now. Well, they were. The 14th place car, Kyle Kammer, was losing touch with them, but he just ran them back down in turns 3 and 4, so crisis averted there. Mark McFadden getting a little bit of help from Jeff Martin on the low side, so McFadden going to come around and lead that number 4. One car dropping back up high. He says, I've had enough of this. That's David Washington. Yeah,
Washington might have started to take on a little bit of heat in the car. Not sure, but he jumps out of line. He's way up top. Everybody passing him by. That was Jason Eisenhower just getting under him. Washington going to look to maybe get back in line here. That's exactly what he does. Chops the nose off of Judd Danielson.
So McFadden leading Martin around. The side-by-side battle is for second and third now. That's where Ethan Moore has dropped back to. Ethan Moore, he might not be leading right now, Sean, but he's done a good job at controlling the high line in the opening laps here.
Yeah, he's been a good guy to follow. He's been solid. I mean, he has not. The car has been really, really settled. He's, you know, like I said, a good guy to follow right now. Certainly not slowing anybody down. Oh, and there we go. The 15 jumps up in there. Jeff Martin goes to the top, and look at him go, Sam. Choo, choo. Oh, Jeff leaves him hanging out to dry. He used him, Sam.
And for the record, I'm pretty sure all of these guys we see battling up front here are not racing for points in the series, and that would make sense, as we mentioned, Sean. Some drivers just going for broke, trying to win the race.
Well, you know what? Winning a super speedway race is a badge of honor for a lot of guys. Certainly is for myself. That's how I rate myself as a driver, because I'm not any good at anything else.
Well, Mark Clewell, though, in that number 65, I think he's our first of our championship contenders we've seen up there today. He's scored a lot of points in the opening 5 rounds of the season, Sean. However, doesn't have that win yet, so maybe he could be trying to look for that today and solidify himself a position in the playoffs.
Sam, no win, no sponsor. Coincidence? I think not. Gets himself a win. I bet you we see a sponsor on that car coming to follow.
Again, needs a screen time for now. Certainly getting that Toyota sticker right in the face of Will Davis there, who we ride on board. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Will Davis's Toyota sponsor we're seeing. That's Trey Galgon we're riding on board.
Ooh, yeah, Trey getting a little bit of squirrely there. Ay, ay, ay. Easy, guys, easy.
Remember, they'll have a caution at lap 25 to end stage number 1. Working lap number 8 now. Early days here. And that's got to be good news for Richard Reagan Jr., I should imagine, Sean, because even if he does go a lap down, hopefully for his sake, he'll be the only one a lap down when the first caution flies and he'll get the lucky dog.
McFadden here just slicing the field, sitting there in third, and he has just been all over this up, down, inside. A good story about McFadden here, a feel-good story. Well, maybe not, but yeah, he's lost a couple brothers here in the past month, and tonight he put up some money in their memory to the winner. $22 to the winner tonight. And someone up the ante and matched him. One of our sponsors, and put up an additional $22, and so 15 will go to second and 7 to third. So there'll be actual cash payouts tonight, and was Stewart and Hovis Construction was responsible for that second $22.
It's very nice to hear those guys supporting worthy cause here. That's Kyle Kammer you currently see running up high. He was in 10th place. He's dropping to the back here, Sean.
Yeah, that's the 8080 Kyle Kammer, and I don't know if the car was getting hot or not. He needed to get out and breathe a bit, but certainly dropped a lot of positions in the process of giving up that space. He's going to slide in behind D'Amico now, get back into this this draft battle here.
As much side-by-side racing we've seen, really haven't seen any new names come to the front. They've kind of just been racing in, I hate to say processional because it's too wide, but the most processional kind of racing that you can have while racing too wide at 190 miles an hour. Jeff Martin, the leader, started 5th. Mark Clewell, who was second last lap around, he started 4th. Ethan Moore has dropped 2nd and 3rd, and Will Davis, having a bit of a power run on that high side, he started 6th. He's going to try and get up front.
Can I give you some bad news for one driver? Richard Regan is going to have to pay the piper here pretty soon.
Yeah, but if he's the only car that goes a lap down, Sean, surely he'll just get the lucky dog.
True, very true. And you got to hope that Kobe Timms, Joe Owen, Joe Johnson, Kyle Snodgrass, and Sam Doty decide not to come back into this race and get started. But Richard hanging in there, but the door is going to close here pretty quick, Sam. I think they're about 10 to 12 seconds out.
And running about 4 seconds a lap faster. Of course, the problem there, Sean, might not necessarily be a car going a lap down. It's the problem that a car going a lap down means that everything that's too wide is going to become 3 wide.
You're absolutely right. It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, they're all going to have to navigate their way around a moving chicane, essentially. The best thing Richard Reagan Jr. can do is just hold his line and then wait for a gap in the pack, try and pull in there, get their draft, so that he kind of stops the bleeding.
Boy, Galgan's having a really, really solid run up there on the top side. That's where he's been for most of this run so far. Really, really being leaned on, too, by Josh Tanner.
All right, here comes the lead pack. Reagan is holding up high. Unfortunately, Talladega is plenty wide enough. The pack should just be able to blast by him without anyone having to change lanes.
Decent spot to catch him right here. Yeah, that was smooth. good and smooth.
I'm not even sure Reagan's in too much of a hurry to catch onto their draft here. He knows no one else should go a lap down, and he's not going to fall 2 laps down within the next 11 laps. So he might just accept defeat here, right around at the tail end of the pack, and then we'll get back in the lead lap in about 10 laps time. Meanwhile, Trey Galgon is currently riding in first position, although he might not necessarily lead the lap, because here comes Josh Tanner, two names I'd say we're very familiar with. We're seeing running up front in this league. They are running up front right now. Tanner on the high side, Galgon down low.
Sam, we've given so much attention to this pack that we've really started to kind of ignore what's going on back here in 21st place. Steve Durham right now leads this big second pack we talked about. And, you know, this group is actually not doing bad. It's got Andrew Farnyar's in it, Adam Eisenhower, Werner Meyerheim. So certainly not a bad group, just some guys that have fallen off pace just a bit, and they're starting to move.
Hey, and look at that, Gabriel Wood is in it too, and he has a new paint scheme this week that has refreshed on trading paints. We were having a bit of issues with that during practice. That's not Valvoline on these, though, that's Snowvaline, Sean.
Snowvaline, yes. The Alabama game.
Oh, things getting dicey up front. They're 3 wide. Trey Galgon is going back.
He's caught in the middle right now. He's the meat in the sandwich. 3 wide. Oh, careful, careful, careful.
Jason Eisenhower wasn't giving him a whole lot of room there.
No, he wasn't.
Now Jason's stuck in the middle. Ethan Moore is up high, but Moore doesn't have anyone to help him. However you say that.
All right, we're going 3 wide, Sam. Blake Griffith going to get caught in the middle here. Wow.
And 2 wide for the lead. Will Davis pulls up high on Josh Tanner. So now this 3 wide is coming with a bit of steam towards these 2 leaders running side by side. Davis goes up high to block the top side.
He goes up top.
Davis very close to the wall.
Making me nerves.
Yeah, Sean, what's the point of this?
Maybe try and get some rubber up there and get a third line going. I mean, they are moving. Two cars right there moving, and man, we got 2 rows and 3 wide right now. The 11 leading the way. Here comes Will Davis. Davis bringing Ethan Moore along with him.
The smart Clewell, who just made the dive up to the top side.
They're pulling a little side draft there on that middle lane. That's Eric Stanford. That's a driver we haven't even talked about yet. Stanford up in the mix here in his Ari's Mustang.
Yeah, I mentioned how it was pretty much all the drivers who had started up front that were running up front. Now they're getting 3 wide. That's very much not the case. Josh Tanner started 12th.
They're side drafting the wall right now. Will Davis, Ethan Moore. Yeah, Will Davis was the leader across the line there, Sam. They could do this, but I don't know how long they can do this. This is risky racing right here.
They only have to do it for another 6 more laps.
Yeah. Then everybody gets a break. Coffee break, boys.
Jeff Martin and Mark Clewell currently up front, although Martin pulls ahead as Clewell drops back a little bit. He's alongside Josh Tanner there for second. And those 2 getting very close. That side draft you're talking about. Do these bumpers line up, Sean?
Not really well, Sam. Not really well. You got to be dead center, and you certainly can't move. You'll hook somebody real easy.
Do you think the drivers will remember that on the final lap?
No, absolutely not. Oh, Blake Griffith. Blake Griffith has fallen out.
That's unfortunate. The driver for number 5 started right in the middle of the field.
That was also my pick, Sam. No pressure now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Griffith, one of the championship contenders, so not going to be a good point stay for him.
Boy, talk about no pressure. Josh Tanner sliding his AdPro results. Ford Mustang all over the place. Now he's got the break on the lead here. Clewell hooked right up with him.
$195 miles an hour down the back straight, with just 4.5 laps left to go to the end of the stage. Right now, Josh Tanner leading them around. And for the first time in a while, they're not 3 wide anymore. Anyone going to come in here, Sean, you think? Try and take advantage of getting their pit stop done before the stage ends?
Maybe the second pack? But I don't think you're going to see any of these guys step out.
These guys will race for points. Well, yeah. the ones who are racing for stage points, we've well documented that there are some of those who are just here for the win.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see anybody up here in this front pack of 15, 16 cars get out of the line to go in for a pit. We're going to go to the end of the stage here, but that second pack back there, maybe.
Three laps left to go to the end of the stage as they come around to that start-finish line.
Adam Eisenhower leading them through the turn here.
Yeah, we're watching the second pack, see if any of these drivers come into the pits. None of them this time around.
Yeah, they just won't catch that bunch in front of them. They've gotten a little bit too far away.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them for backing off, given the way this lead pack was racing about 5 laps ago. Didn't seem to have calmed down here, though. Oh, and Adam Eisenhower, Daytona winner, has gotten turned around in turn 3, and that will bring out the caution that will end the first stage. The stage points will be awarded based on the timing of the caution. A couple other cars involved, Sean, but Adam Eisenhower gets the worst of it.
Yeah, and that's a shame. You're going to see here he's going to get a little bit of help. And I'm sure the 33 didn't mean to do it, but he was on the bumper too late there. Not in the turn there. Not in the turn. Eisenhower's going to get collected there. And who was that? That was an orange and white car that hit him. I'm trying to see who that was, Sam. That was the 10, Steve Durham.
Yeah, the 33 of Vernon Margheim is the one who turned him. And then Durham, as you said, collected up a piece of that too.
They're going to enter the turn here. Just now starting to turn the wheel. And, well, Vernon just a little bit too close to the bumper, and there's Durham collecting him. Durham had absolutely nowhere to go. Innocent bystander in that one.
So, the stage points have been awarded with Josh Tanner winning the first stage. He comes down the pits to complete lap number 24. So even though they're not at lap 25 yet, they're going to cycle with iRacing's regular pit stops here, and the officials will just go back to the timing of the caution to award the stage points. And that's good news for Josh Tanner, because he really overshot his pit stall. He's still not stopped.
Oh, jeez.
And I think Josh Tanner went with fuel only to kind of limit the damage there. And Chris Scala stayed out. Jeff Martin won the race off of pit road, and then Tanner, McFadden, Clewell, Stanford, Davis, Moore, Salmaso and Galgan currently rounding out the top 10. We will be back for the restart here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Don't go away. Hello and welcome back to the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250, where the lights off on the pace car. We're getting set for the second stage here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The winner of the first stage was Josh Tanner, but as you saw, he had a very awkward pit stop, so he came back down pit road under this caution. Maybe play a bit of strategy game. He will be restarting from the back. Another front runner who will also be restarting towards the rear is Mark Clewell. However, that isn't by choice. He was given an end-of-a-line penalty for quote-unquote extreme ghosting, which we believe means he was ghosting through too many cars too severely on the exit of pit road. The organisers didn't like that, so they gave him a penalty, and Clewell is going to have about 70 laps to work his way back up through the field, which fortunately at Talladega is plenty of time. However, there are some tough nuts to crack, because at the front of the field, Jeff Martin, Mark McFadden, Eric Stanford and Will Davis, even more, they are all names that we've been mentioning a lot lately, and those are going to be the five about to bring them back to green flag racing here for the second stage. So Josh Tanner has one stage win today. Who will win the second? They went caution free until a minor incident ended the first stage. Let's see if we're just as fortunate this time, although one car ducking out of line already as they anticipate the restart here. And Martin leading them down very slowly. But now we're going racing. And once again, Sean, a nice restart by the high line too, with Mark McFadden holding his line as they go through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Sam, and nobody really making it look too tricky yet. Everybody staying side by side. One car at the back struggling just a bit. Gary Sexton all the way back in 27th. He was running high and wide, and I believe might have even got a little bit of the concrete, but they're shuffling back here. Everybody trying to scramble through. Chris Scala dropping back through the field. He takes to the apron for safety.
Yeah, Mark McFadden did get a good restart on the high side, but no one else behind him did, and that's really broken up that high line. The low line coming like a freight train out of turn 3 and 4, with Jeff Martin leading Eric Stanford, Ethan Moore, and just like he did throughout the stage 1, Ethan Moore is going to want to control the high line.
Well, he loved it up there through most of that first stage, and now so far so good. Trey Galgan there in third, or fourth and fifth, whatever you want to call it. Galgan down on the bottom line. He's going to stay there, but the top line going to stay true. McFadden at the back of that little train. The number 48, right up under the bumper there, Will Davis.
Of course, Sean, because caution laps count in stage racing, these drivers don't exactly have 25 laps to the end of the stage.
No.
More like 20 already. They're coming around to complete lap 30 this time by.
You are correct about that, Sam. They coming in here at the end of lap 50. It won't be long. We'll be talking about that second stage. Car's still looking a little squirrely here. Everybody trying to settle back into a groove. They had a great one for the entire first segment.
Yeah, the only drivers who have really hit trouble so far, Blake Griffith is out of the race with a connection issue. Vernon Margheim and Adam Heisenhauer running off of the lead lap after their collision. Everyone else still on the lead lap. Some cars a little bit beating another.
McFadden's around. McFadden's around, and it was contact with the 04, but it's going to keep going.
More cars with dented fenders, but we stay green.
Michael Snow does a great job, and unfortunately it was Snow that looked like maybe started that just a little bit, but Snow does a great job of hanging onto the car. Here's the replay. Snow's down there on the bottom in the 04. It looks like he comes up the track, maybe just a hair here, or they just meet in the same spot. But McFadden starts to go around. They bang doors, and Snow is able to keep it on the apron there. Wow. He's got some, we'll watch it from the 88. He does pick up some minor damage on the right side. On board with Kyle Kammer. You see it just up in front of Kammer. There they are, right in front of Kyle. Kyle's got a decision to make. Where do I go? He finally gets around there. Nice.
Now, the good news about this being a slightly shorter run to the end of the stage, Sean, is hopefully these drivers will be able to stay on the lead lap. We did see our pole sitter go a lap down under the first stint, Richard Reagan Jr. However, he got the lucky dog at the end of the first stage. He is back on the lead lap, running in 23rd right now.
Man, they were 3 wide there at the front, and it's Stanford that's wanting to cause all this trouble. He's going to slip back in the line, get in behind Galgan, still trying to peek his nose out there a little bit, maybe just get a little bit of fresh air.
Oh, spin on the back straight. He goes down to the apron, though. No caution. It's David Washington. Keeps it off the wall. We are seeing a lot of good saves out there today.
Sam, we are. Washington was getting a little bit of draft help from Gerald Campbell, and I just don't think they lined up. You asked me how well they lined up, Sam. Well, that's how they line up. Not really, really well. Not able. We'll go on board with Judd Danielson here. Judd's going to get an interesting perspective here on the GSRC replay. Yeah. So that happened today. How was your day, honey?
Well, unfortunately, we could always see the potential of the same thing happening up front, where things have been dicey since the drop of a green flag. Jeff Martin and Eric Stanford currently running side by side for the lead. Trey Gelgon and the new driver up front here, Dylan Jones, breaking his way up into 3rd position. He started 23rd.
Look at Dylan go in that Mustang. The Asus Mustang at that. I like his choice in hardware. Giving a really nice push here to the 19. Eric Stanford, those two looking to go to the front all by themselves. Ethan Moore still on that top side, following him in there. They're going to come down and side draft here with Jeff Martin. Oh, Moore's getting a really good run back there.
And spinner! And once again, a save for Dylan Jones. No, the caution flies. And then that was the league admin throwing the caution there to prevent that from getting worse.
Wow. We're just... Folks, go ahead and check that one off on your scorecard there. Poor Dylan Jones.
Oh, the GSRC bingo for the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that could have been a lot worse.
Let's get our money's worth out of this. Get an onboard with Dylan Jones. Keep an eye on the hands here. Yeah, it's not good. You never want to see him going in that direction here on a super speedway, Sam.
No, it does bring out the yellow, even though he got it pointing in the right direction. The league organisers just had to make a quick decision, anticipating that had the race stayed green there, it could have ended up being a much uglier multi-car wreck. They brought out the caution to back everyone down and keep everyone's car in one piece for the rest of the race. What this does mean is that we're not having any of our leaders come into the pits. So it looks like they're all getting set up for a 10-lap shootout to the end of stage number 2. Dylan Jones going to come in for a new set of tyres and underwear for the remaining 10 laps of this stage. We're going to take another quick break here on the GSRC. We'll be back for the restart. Hello and welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway for tonight's coverage of a Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250. Top Shelf Mobile Detailing is the sponsor of tonight's Top Shelf 250 from Talladega Super Speedway. It's Raleigh, North Carolina's most experienced auto detailing company. For over 35 years, Top Shelf Mobile Detailing has been making rides look new again. Call Robert at 919-883-7497. Once again, that's 919-883-7497. And on the subject of numbers, Sean, 11 laps left to go to the end of stage 2.
Yes, Sam, 11 to go, and this group up here, Stanford, Moore, Martin, Will Davis. I'll tell you what, Moore looks to be one of my favorites right now here to this stage win, Sam. He's been up here the whole race. He knows, he seems to be one of the only guys that really knows what he's doing up here. I could be overselling that just a bit, but Ethan's been awful strong. Been keeping the top side in really, really good shape, and he's got his buddy Jeff Martin right behind him.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Mark Clewell and Josh Tanner as well, who have raced their way back up to 8th and 11th respectively after a restart in stage number 2 from the back of the field. Pace cars in, Eric Stanford and Ethan Moore leading them back to green. And now Stanford gets a nice jump, but is it too good of a jump? What kind of a run is Will Davis going to get him down low there? And Stanford, in fact,
ooh,
wow, he's going to abandon him.
Will Davis with the big move. Thank you very much. Jumps right up in front of Jeff Martin.
Stanford's first helper is going to be Jason Eisenhower, unless Eisenhower thinks about going high as well. But just look at how much time it's cost him to the high side. And now the high side comes back down low, and Stanford is lying back in 4th place.
Oh, D'Amico out of shape back there in a 62. He hangs on to it. Watch out, Jason Eisenhower trying to come through. Eisenhower's the car that was right next to him. D'Amico still trying to dial it in just a bit there. Here comes Mark Clewell and the 84, Josh Tanner, up there in the top side to follow. Now the top side's going to start moving again. We've got 4. Do I hear 4? 4. There's the 19, Eric Stanford leading them.
Well, Ethan Moore's leading the field down low right now, but let's not forget that Moore has had their preference for that top side throughout the race. Will he block that run on the high side? No. He chooses to stay low for now. Number 23 of Ethan Moore leading them around. Eric Stanford, the 19, coming up high.
Stanford going to need a little bit of help to get the run here. Doing a nice job of side drafting though. Nowhere to go for anybody here. Door is not open for anyone. Ethan Moore might be able to slide up in there, but I doubt you'll see it. He's going to stay down there on the bottom. Here comes Stanford.
High side coming with a head of steam, including those 2 drivers we just mentioned who have worked their way through the field, Clewell and Tanner. Stanford's made a nice bit of a recovery as going up, almost making a 3rd lane there was Clewell.
No.
8 laps left to go to the end of stage 2, Sean. Everyone's trying to get themselves in a good position for the final run to the end.
Ethan Moore going to fall in the middle here. Top side, bottom side, all coming around. Eric Stanford to the front. Oh, and then Stanford drops all the way to the bottom. That was kind of an unexpected move. He leaves D'Amico hanging out to dry. D'Amico gets picked up by Ethan Moore.
Yes, and D'Amico now coming on the high side, but a nice statement there, I think, from Stanford that even after losing 3 positions on the restart, it only took him a few laps to get back up there to the top spot. However, how well will he be able to hold on to it? D'Amico, I believe this will be the first time he's led today. If he can hold on, and sure enough, the 62 who will cross the stripe first at the completion of lap 43.
Boy, and Stanford going to power back on the bottom here. D'Amico doing a good job of keeping it up there right now. Keeping it out of trouble. Going to get a good push by Ethan Moore here. Moore just got to be really careful not lean on him too hard. And D'Amico going to drop to the bottom of the track. Pick himself up in front of Eric Stanford. Stanford's car very distracting, Sam. I keep hearing "We've Got the Meats" in my head. Arby's. Yeah, okay. Our director now has got his stomach rumbling also. Ethan Moore just loves the top side of this track, Sam. Mark Clewell spent a lot of time up there also.
Now they're coming to the point where if we had a crash, it would end the stage, which is what happened to end the first stage of this race. Things looking a bit calm for the top 3 positions right now, but I guarantee you that's probably going to change in the next 5 laps here, especially from the championship contenders trying to get those extra stage points to help their playoff chances.
Well, Will Davis keeps doing that. He just kind of slides up into the outside groove. Pulls from himself right in front of Ethan Moore. And then Davis just kind of stalls out there.
There's been a lot of names running in this top 10 right now who have worked their way from the back, and then as you mentioned, sort of kind of just stalled out there when they get to the top 5. Donald Stewart, I think that's the first time we've seen his name in the top 10 tonight. Running in the number 78 machine back there, around 10th place.
He's come a long way too. Donald started back there in 30th tonight. Well, Davis able to hang on here for now. And he's staying true to Ethan Moore. Oh, look at that. Going up top. Clewell gets out of the draft.
Could just be trying to cool his engine down there. Now these drivers may have to deal with the lap traffic of Steve Durham. You saw just before the second caution flew a little while ago, Steve Durham went a lap down because of the damage he sustained in the stage-ending first caution of the race. He was able to get the lucky dog because of the convenient timing of the second yellow. However, it might be all for naught here, or he may end up getting the lucky dog the next time by. Michael Snow into the pits. Snow going to play the strategy card. And pit now, and he'll still be able to get to the end of the race on one more stop, as will everyone else who comes into the pits at the end of this stage. Meanwhile, an update, Ray Richer, who I believe was involved in some earlier trouble as retired from the race.
Really not much changed up front, except for the pack has maybe gotten a little bit bigger here, Sam. What we've seen is we've seen Clewell drop back through the field here, the 65.
Here we go, and down on the apron, it's Eric Stanford. He's able to get woed up. He had a bit of contact from the high side. They're also catching Michael Snow there, who I think has spun the tyres trying to exit the pits.
Wow.
Keep it green. If a caution did come out, it would be our stage 2 caution.
D'Amico going for the lead here.
D'Amico under Davis. Now Martin looking under Davis for second. Behind them, Galgon on the low side. Moore on the high side. 1 lap left to go to end stage number 2.
D'Amico just got to do the best he can to hang on. It's really not up to him here at this point. Will Davis getting a great run here on top. He's clear. He can drop down in if he wants. There he goes.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do, but Ethan Moore's where he likes to be.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake. He should have stayed with Moore. Now Moore's going to get a lot of momentum off the top here. He's going to get some help from Josh Danner.
Now, normally the stage caution comes out when the 10th car crosses the start-finish line, but that'll happen about a second after Ethan Moore crosses the start-finish line here, because there is a pack of them coming to the line. Moore holds on ahead of Josh Danner. Caution still not flying. And there it goes. I'm not sure if Will Davis might actually have a lead going into the pit, so he had a bit of a run through turns 1 and 2 there. Nope, Ethan Moore's going to go back out in front of it. So Ethan Moore wins stage number 1. Josh Tanner wins stage number 2. Josh Tanner won stage number 1 and then had that pit stop fiasco under that stage caution, but was able to rebound and work his way all the way back up to second in the last 20 laps.
A good stage there, Sam.
Well, we've seen this at the other races that we've covered here on the GSRC for the AdPro 360 Challenger Series here, Sean. That's at the first 2 stages have been relatively calm, but then things have kind of got a bit dicey in the 3rd and final stage.
Well, it's been fun to follow, Sam. Still have an awful lot of cars in the race. I think we've got about 28, 29 of them left.
All on the lead lap, too.
Yes. Somebody's got to win it, though. And it may not be anybody that's previously led this race today. You never know. I mean, Andrew Farnyards has done nothing spectacular so far in this race, and he's as much a contender as anybody. David Washington had some bad luck. Unfortunately, he's got some damage he's working with on his car. That might be a bit of a trick. Richard Regan, though, started up on the pole, Sam. Guess what? He's still in good shape here, riding back there in, 16th right now.
Michael Snow will get the lucky dog. However, I'm sure he would have preferred to have stayed on the lead lap. I think him spinning his tyres or something on pit exit there cost him that. So Ethan Moore leads him into the pits. Will Davis was the second down pit road right behind them. Who's going to win the race off of pit road? Of course, track position doesn't always mean a whole lot at Talladega, but I'm sure it always means a lot when you have control of the field, Sean.
Indeed it does, Sam. These battles can be lost or won here on pit road. Boy, Gerald Campbell having big trouble getting in his box back here. He's still not set.
The leaders came off the same way they entered. Ethan Moore ahead of Will Davis. Louis Salmazo is right behind them, ahead of Donald Stewart, Jeff Martin, Mark Lowell, our pole sitter Richard Reagan Jr. and Gabriel Wood. Wood, haven't heard a lot from him so far today. He's worked his way up front at the end here, though.
Boy, and I talked about Gerald Campbell. He's still sitting on pit road, Sam, trying to get his service in. It took him forever to get the car parked. He lost. He was in the middle of this field. He's going to be at the back of it to restart this race.
Kyle Camo and Chris Scala have stayed out. We'll wait and see if they come down pit road at any point during this caution. We'll give an update when we get back here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Don't go away, the final stage coming up. Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway. 2 stages in the books, 1 left to go. Kyle Kammer is going to lead them back to green after not pitting under this caution. Everyone else did. Now, of course, the nice thing about Talladega is you can pit and stay on the lead lap. However, you don't want to pit on your own. No one else is on Kyle Kammer's strategy, Sean. However, he does have some teammates out there in AEGIS, easy for me to say.
Aegis. Yes, he does. And that could be a big factor here. You know, again, we talked about in the pre-race that we planned for these teams to be working together.
So, 27 cars still on the lead lap. It was Michael Snow who got the lucky dog in the number 4 machine after making a pit stop under the last run. I don't think that worked out as planned though for him. I had a feeling he wanted to try and stay on the lead lap. Couple of end of longest line penalties to report to you. Jeff Martin and Mark Clewell were given end of longest line penalties for how they handled the last round of stops. You're not supposed to drive through too many pit stalls or other cars while you're in the pits. Even though, of course, driving through other cars in the pit stalls doesn't damage your machines, it's still something league admins don't always like. So, the pace car is off, and the green flag is in the air. Not a good restart for Kyle Kammer. Ethan Moore actually going to beat him to the line here.
Ooh, here we go. Luis Salmoso up here for the first time tonight. Salmoso got a pretty good partner right there behind him, Richard Regan. Richard certainly knows how to get around this track based on his qualifying effort. Back up to the front finally tonight here.
Yeah, I have a feeling they'll let Ethan Moore get away with that one there, Sean, because I don't think Kyle Kammer had gone by the time the green flag was flown, and if the pole set or the lead of the race hasn't gone by the time in the back green flag, it's pretty much game on.
I'm with you, Sam. Gotta go, go, go.
So Luis Salmoso, apologies for that, leads lap number 56. Ethan Moore on the high side, once again behind him. On the low side is our pole sitter, Richard Regan Jr. He dropped to the back of the field on lap number 1. We don't know if that was intentional or not, but he has worked his way back up front here for the closing stage.
Sam, you see who Luis has got on the car there? God, he's got the buzzing hornets on that thing.
Is that a throwback to the 1997 Formula One Jordan paint scheme?
Yes, yes, it is. Absolutely. Boy, look at that. It's Richard Regan just really squirrely behind him. Does not touch the bumper.
Yes, I'm also trying to do something that Jordan struggled to do except for in 1999, and that is win a race here. Right now, though, Sam also has control of the field on the bottom lane, but Ethan Moore, he has never gone away from that front all race long, Sean.
Yeah, Ethan has spent a lot of time up here, and what he knows how to do well is side draft, and I've been very, very impressed with his ability to get down right next to these cars on the bottom lane and ride right along with them and still give just enough to space, and they make a little bit of an error. He's able to get out of the way quickly. It's been a balancing act for him. It's like riding a tight wire up there.
I mentioned our driver who has led the most amount of laps this season has yet to have a win, and that is Gabriel Wood. He is making his first appearance, flirting with the top 5 right now in the number 75 machine upstairs. And a lot of these big names, Sean, that we haven't mentioned a lot tonight, they've just been biding their time, and now they know it's time to go.
Yeah, Donald Stewart, the number 78 here, battling right alongside Gabriel Wood. Stewart been absent for the front of this race for most of it. Now finds himself up here and riding with the big dogs.
23 cars in this lead pack. 24th and 25th are Jeff Martin and Mark Clewell, and Gerald Campbell all the way back in 26. So some big names at the very back too. I guess they're anticipating that this pack won't last.
Well, Sam, we're going to come across the line and have 36 laps to go in this race. It's time to get busy here, buddy.
But everyone's going to have to pit one more time, Sean.
Yes, sir, and you want to be up or near the front when you pit. I don't want to get caught in the mess going down pit lane here with everybody around me. I'm going to be at the front of that mess.
Now, do you think we're going to see a lot of cars start short pitting in around 3 or 4 laps from now?
I'll tell you what, it looks like a distinct possibility for Kyle Kammer is he is approaching the end of his run. Now, he's going to have some extra laps in there because of the fact that he spent several under caution for him. They've been able to save a little bit of fuel. But I figure he's got about 10 laps left max. Getting shuffled up to the top there. This is 75, but Jabril Wood comes by. Camera's starting to drop. Danielson gets by in the middle. Camera might be setting up for a pit stop here.
They come around to complete lap 61 of 96. Some also still controlling the low side. Moore still controlling the high side. Robert Regan Jr. still in third. Will Davis in 4th position. He's definitely been one of the more exciting ones to watch today. Continuing to log laps here at Talladega Superspeedway of 195 miles an hour. These drivers, this front pack, Sean, normally at Talladega Superspeedway, you'll see they'll go at least a phase through the race where the leaders get single file, just ride out for a moment. We have not seen any of that up front tonight.
Yeah. No, we haven't.
But that's been a really good way for these leaders to maintain their track position. With them running too wide, it's kind of prevented anyone from behind making huge moves. Now things getting shaken up a little bit here because Moore wasn't very strong through turns 1 and 2. That means Richard Regan Jr. could be going back to the front for the first time since the start.
Yeah, Regan had the mother of all runs there, and he has to get out of line. He had no place to go but to make the run, and he gets up there, and now Ethan Moore is pushing him across the start-finish line.
Wonder if there was any communication between them there. Wonder if Moore, if Regan was saying, hey, my temperatures are starting to get hot, or if it's just a matter of coincidence that Moore didn't get through turns 1 and 2 very well, and Regan took advantage of it. By the way, the car you see in the 3rd lane all the way back there is, well, actually now it's Gary Sexton, but also Kyle Kemmer's up there, so I don't think he's in a hurry to make a stop because he's going to have to get through 2 lanes of traffic.
Yeah, if he was setting up for a stop, that's the wrong place to set up for it. Camera is really, really falling off, though.
The lead pack are about to catch a damaged car of Steve Durham and put him in the 2nd lap down. Hopefully, Durham will be able to drop on the apron down the back straight and let them by without any incident. And sure enough, that's what's going to happen. One lead lap car's lost the draft, Sean, and that's Jeremy Crandell. He'll be opening for caution before the end of this race. Well,
it's about as solid a restart as you could have hoped for right there, Sam. couple cars that we'd seen fighting up front can't seem to go anywhere now. One of them is that number 19 of Eric Stanford, now kind of caught back in the middle here. He rides in 12th.
Trying to find any new names in the top 10 here, Sean, but it seems like they're all maintaining position for now, just because of the way this lead pack has been double file all race long. Top 24 cars right now are separated by 1.2 seconds. And in fact, the leader's last lap around was separated by 3 thousandths of a second. Just show you how close it is up front. Let's see what it's like this time by, man, a mile between them. 15 thousandths of a second this time. Wow, between them all.
Everybody in this pack has a chance right now. Yes, that includes Mike Donahue back there, the 77 Miller High Life machine.
I think everyone outside of this pack has a chance as well if things got really ugly. Less than 30 laps to go. Does mean pit window is open. No takers from the lead pack yet. I'm surprised no one's trying to change up their strategy a bit, Sean.
Now, Will Davis and Ethan Moore are CCR teammates. Certainly, when they pit, it's going to be orchestrated. I can't imagine them going in without each other.
...196 miles an hour being run by our race leaders as they enter the 33-degree banking of turn number 3. I've got to confess, Sean, I've never been to Talladega Super Speedway in person, but I've got to imagine when you get there, TV probably, and iRacing itself too, does not do that banking justice.
None at all. It's massive. Trust me, I've walked up it. I've tried to walk up it. There's really no walking up it. Sam, it's really, really wild. And having been to both Daytona and Talladega, I can tell you that the difference is more than noticeable. It really is. I mean, the eye test is everything. And like I said, having seen both, it's just amazing. The difference between 28-degree banking and I think Daytona's what, 28, I think.
Yeah, I remember the first NASCAR track I went to in this country, Sean, was Richmond International Raceway, a speedway known for having very flat banking. Yes. But I just remember I put a water bottle down at the top of the speedway and watched it roll all the way down. And man, it had some speed by the time it got to the bottom. I can't imagine, you know, and I'm like, man, this is Richmond, a really flat track. It probably walks into light speed here at Talladega if you try that experiment.
You know, honestly, I think Richmond is like 7 degrees, Sam, and even that is a lot. Agreed. Absolutely. My home track's considered a bit of a flat track, and it's still got 7 to 8 degrees of banking. Oh, 3 wide back here. Judd Danielson up top.
Yeah, Judd Danielson doesn't like us talking about water bottles, so he's going to try and make a third lane up here, but I don't think it's going to work out for him.
Well, he's bringing Sexton along with him. I mean, there's a reason they are CCR teammates all. So CCR all up here trying to position themselves to get ready for a pit stop, Sam. I think this is right where CCR wants to be. Remember, CCR is Gary Sexton, Will Davis, Blake Griffith, who's out, Joe Johnson, Ethan Moore, and Judd Danielson. So most of the troopers are assembled and ready to jump on the pit.
Jeremy Crandall, though, is a lapped car up on that high side. They're going to have to work this one out.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Danielson gets into the back of Crandall. Crandall's grazing the wall. That gives Danielson any damage.
I'm checking now, Sam. I don't see anything on Danielson here initially. I think he's just trying to drop back in line. Boy, he does look a little slow. I have to get around to the other side of the car here, see if maybe he got something on the right-hand side. Man, that really broke his momentum bad.
Yeah, even if his car's not damaged, he wouldn't be up to full song right now, because I'm sure he had to back off for that a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why he has no damage, Sam. He was able to lift, buy himself a little bit of time there. Buying that time, gave up a lot of time. Now he's starting to roll again, coming up alongside Galvin. Here comes the pack into your screen now.
And here come the pitters.
Yes, sir. It's a CCR rush.
David Washington, Donald Stewart, Mark Clewell was in, Kyle Kammer, Andrew Farnias, Trey Gelgon, Eric Stanford, John Theodore.
Oh, and a couple cars get together. Is Stanford and John Theodore, who misses his box. Theodore's going to have trouble getting in there. He's still trying to get in. He's going to lose major time. Danielson almost has a... Clewell got into David Washington, but don't believe there's any actual official contact there.
And more leaders coming into the pits this time by Richard Reagan Jr., Louis Salmazo, Gabriel Wood, Jeff Martin, and Mike McFadden. Less cars coming down pit road this time, Sean, so maybe it'll be cleaner for these five.
Maybe so. Most of those cars that pit there that last time around, that was the Aegis team that had come in. To the front now, you've got Gary Sexton, who will be the leader this time by, Sam.
Yep, because he opts to stay out with Josh Tanner behind him. This is the first time Sexton has led today. They're going by Trey Gelg on their excellent pit road. Galgan doesn't have any help really down there.
Here comes Ethan Moore. I think him and his teammates are going to get ready to come in here, Sam. Oh, we got a couple cars.
Oh, and big incident on the back straight. Kevin Fedde is in the wall. Smoke coming out the back of Will Davis's
Michael
machine.
D'Amico.
Yeah, Michael D'Amico in it too.
Boy, and it looked like it started with Will Davis maybe getting hooked. That car takes a right-hander into the wall. I think he is going to get hooked here. The bumper's not matching up on those cars. Oh, no. Chaos. Absolute chaos.
But this will be good news for all of the drivers who pitted and were able to stay out on the lead lap.
Wow, Sam. That developed so quickly. We're on board here with Kevin Fedde. Fedde's going to get a pretty good look at this. He is unfortunately going to get into it, literally. Just know where to go. He's just a passenger at that point, Sam.
Currently showing 23 cars left on the lead lap after all of that. The first 7 or 8, I believe, had yet to pit. So Gary Sexton will lead those guys down the pits here. And we'll have less than 20 laps left to go when they go back racing for the end. Unfortunately, there'll be a few big names today, particularly Will Davis, who we know for sure will not be rejoining them. So top 8 come in, including Kevin Fedde, involved in that incident. Looks like Michael Snow perhaps being shown as our new race leader. Nope.
I think it's going to be... we're coming across the line here now. I think it's going to be Jeff Martin, actually.
Yep, Jeff Martin. Number 15 goes to the point. Richard Reagan Jr. right behind him, ahead of Luis Salmazo and Donald Stewart. All these drivers who were running up front were able to pit, come back out on the lead lap because they'd been running up front, and now they'll cycle back around to those top spots.
I'm going to be honest, he's got a little bit of trouble. That car is not clean. He's got some damage on that rear wicker, the rear bumper area of the car. Certainly in the draft, that could make the handling very, very sketchy. Not going to be an easy run to the finish here for him at all, Sam.
Luis Salmazo has been given an end-of-line penalty for driving through too many pit stalls on the exit of pit road. Judd Danielson likewise is being handed an end-of-line penalty. Now the drivers you currently see behind the pace car, I don't know if they'll come back down pit road this time by, but if they don't, Jeremy Crandall, Trey Gelgon and John Theodore will be able to get the wave around. So a little bit of sorting out to do, but one thing we can tell you for sure is that Jeff Martin will have control of the field when we go back green. We'll have a restart for you in just a few moments here on the GSRC. Lights are off on the pace car. We will just have just 17 laps left to go when we go back green at the completion of this lap here for tonight's coverage of the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250, round 6 of a 2018 AdPro 360 Challenger Series. Right now, the number 15 machine of Jeff Martin leads the field ahead of our pole sitter, the 46 of Richard Regan Jr. Donald Stewart, David Washington will be restarting on row 2 ahead of Andrew Fanyas. Apologise, Andrew. Mark Clewell, Gabriel Wood, Eric Stanford, Mark McFadden and Kyle Kammer rounding up the top 10. A lot of different strategies have led to the drivers getting here, but to finish it all off, we have 23 cars left on the lead lap, and the way tonight's race has gone, any of them could win it because they have been running double file with a bit of free wide racing mixed in between pretty much throughout the entire duration of this race for the opening 2.5 stages. However, we've seen with this series throughout the season, the end of the last stage has always picked up with a bit of activity and drama. Jeff Martin will be hoping for none of that as he leads the field back to green here. Nice restart by the high side too, being led by Richard Regan Jr. as they head to turn 1.
Getting big help there from David Washington. Regan gets off to a nice start, drops down a side draft there with the 15 of Jeff Martin. Got to try and hang on to him here through the turn, Sam.
Jeff Martin doing a good job getting about a car length up, but is again too far away from the 78 of Donald Stewart, but there's a caution behind them.
Oh.
Luis Salmoso, a driver who had to serve a penalty. He's been running up front a lot tonight. He's involved in it. I think he's really the big takeoff damage in this one, Sean.
Yeah, and it was Galgan. It was in the middle of that, unfortunately. It was Galgan and Steve Durham who get locked up. And Salmoso just had nowhere to go here, Sam. Salmoso in that number 4. Galgan in the middle there. You see the contact with the 10. And another car that got heavy damage was the 6. Gerald Campbell, minding his own business up there on the top side. Gets collected. Damaged heavily. And just like that, we've got another caution flag, Sam. Man, I thought we might make it to the checkers there and just couldn't get it sorted out there at the back, bud.
Very unfortunate for a few of the big names in this series. Buys Jeff Martin some extra time up front, though, in that number 15 machine. Had to vent another replay there. The incident that brought out this yellow.
The answer is clear here, Sam. Yeah, you stay on track. There's no...
yeah.
I don't think there's any guesswork involved here. If they could shorten up the caution period, they'd all do themselves a favor.
I guess one driver here will be able to get the lucky dog. They're going to be Jeremy Crandall in the 73 machine.
According to my timing and scoring, that's who it should be, Sam.
We saw him a bit off a pace earlier, a bit of a scare when the leaders came up to put him a lap down. See some drivers at the tail end of a lead lap coming down the pit road to get some fresh tyres, and I can't imagine they'll be topping off for fuel. Everyone should be good on fuel to the end, but get some fresh tyres for the end, maybe make some manoeuvres in the final stint, which now, Sean, is only going to be about 12 laps. We will be back, well, they already getting double file here. No, some drivers just getting ready a bit soon.
Yeah, they're lining up for the inevitable.
Be a couple moments away, so I think we should take a quick break here again, Sean, and then we'll be back for the restart.
Welcome back here on the Global SimRacing Channel. The 250 miles here at Talladega tonight, and my buddy Sam has had to leave us. I sent him down for a drink on Talladega Boulevard, and well, he hasn't come back yet. I think he might have been invited in to watch the end of this race with some of the fun fans down there on the boulevard. But the AdPro 360 Challenger Series has been hot tonight here at Talladega, and folks, we're in for a great finish here. Coming your way, the pace car bringing them around. The top shelf auto detailing 250. This could be the last one, folks. Buckle up, get ready for the ride. We're dropping a disco ball. It's time to boogie. Let's get this party going right here. There'll be 12 laps to go when they hit the line. Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to pull off. Jeff Martin going to lead the way. Richard Reagan, our pole sitter, finds his way back to the front. Flanked by Donald Stewart, David Washington. Here we go. The pace car's off. We wait for the green flag. Jeff Martin waits patiently. Really waiting a long time here. Go, go, go! The green is out. Martin, Reagan get off in a dead heat. Martin just ahead at the line by a nose. Reagan coming up alongside, bringing it right down on the door. Big start for Donald Stewart. Down on the bottom of the inside. He's going to latch onto the bumper there. Jeff Martin, they get through the turn. Got to hold it tight to 32. Andrew Farnyar's coming through his Nationwide Chevrolet. He'll get up to the top side, right in behind Richard Reagan. Here comes Gabriel Wood. David Washington. Look at all this action going on here, folks. The 48 of Mark McFadden in this. Mark Clewell. Eric Stanford back up here into this pack, followed by Jason Eisenhower. Eisenhower right next to him on the bottom. That's your top 10. 11 laps to go here at the line. It's the top line that's moving right now. Everybody jockeying for position here. The top 18 get the break. Andrew Farnyards finds himself in the game, folks. In the race. Look at this. Farnyards going to the front for the lead. Farnyards getting some big help from David Washington. Washington just draped all over him like a cheap set of curtains. Oh, the 15 on the bottom right below the apron. Martin trying to hang on. Oh, Washington's around. Washington's around. It's going to bring out the caution flag. With 10 laps to go, we're under caution, and Washington hits hard. Folks, we're going to go to the replay here. Washington looks like might have just gotten a little bit of a touch where you shouldn't there in the turn. Everybody just racing so close. Clewell going to get just a bit of the rear end of Washington. Washington's going to go around, get up into the wall. A bunch of cars taken out there. Ethan Moore got collected in that also. Gary Sexton, I believe, got a little damage out of that. Man, let's go on board with Ethan Moore. Moore, the innocent bystander this time. He's at the tail end of this action. Nowhere to go as Washington comes up the track and just pinches him into the wall. That car is about 2 or 3 inches more narrow now after that unfortunate incident. Boy, Ethan Moore stayed out of the trouble up front all night and gets collected right there. Now is going to lose any chance to really win this race. That is a tough, tough break. But Richard Reagan, the lucky one, still finds himself at the front. Jeff Martin, basically where he's been all night up in this front group. Andrew Farnyar is going to hold on to position there at third. We lost some good cars back there, though. Hard to see that car. David Washington's get involved in that. Washington had really, really, really run well there. Remember, folks, we still got money on the line here tonight. We're going to have a couple of caution laps here, and somebody's going to win this race, and they're going to win $22, courtesy of Mark McFadden this evening. And an additional $22 up for grabs. It's going to be $15 to second place, $7 to third. And that second $22, that is thanks to Stuart Hovis Construction this evening. But a lot of cars in the pit after that. Ethan Moore, Kyle Cameron, Gary Sexton, Gerald Campbell. Of course, David Washington also getting a piece of that. That's going to leave us, unless they can get out, that's going to leave us with 18 on the lead lap to restart this race. Don't expect anybody to come down here. Kevin Fetty's car looking like it might have gotten into it with one of his sponsors' products there, the slap chop on the car. Trying to remember the guy's name that used to push that product. It's kind of funny, actually. Folks, I don't expect anybody to come down pit lane here. That honestly, that caution, probably expected. You knew they might mix it up one more time here to the finish. Hopefully this last one we can get it in under green from here. You put a little money on the line and maybe some things happen more than they would others. But Richard Reagan, certainly one of the luckier guys in this field. He started at the front on the pole when we saw him basically from the drop of the green flag of this race go all the way to the back, get a lap down, have to get a lucky dog to get back on the lead lap, fight through trouble, avoid some contact, a couple of these caution flags, and now he finds himself here leading the race. We know he's got speed based on that qualifying effort. Does he have any friends? That's the key. Is Jeff Martin going to go with him? Is Andrew Farnyar going to go with him? Farnyar starting all the way back in 17th. Had a great run. And you know what? Put in a lot of work to get where he's at. He's actually got a little bit of damage on his car. It's not clean. You see that hood bent up just a little bit. Right front fender. This could mean trouble when they get into a draft. Maybe not. Could make the car even a little more difficult to steer. Maybe we get the lights off on the pace car this time around. We do not, or do we? And the pace car still with those lights on. They're going to come around for another lap. We're going to take a quick break here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll be right back for the restart of this race in just a moment. Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250 live from Talladega Superspeedway. I am now your host, Sean Ambrose. Sam had to check out on me. He's gone, folks. He's not here. That's okay. We're going to finish this exciting one up for you tonight. We'll roll across the start-finish line with 6 laps to go. The lights are out on the pace car down the backstretch. Richard Reagan is your leader right now. Jeff Martin there in second. Andrew Farnyars and Mark Clewell round out your second row. Donald Stewart, Eric Stanford, Gabe Wood, Jason Eisenhower, and Mark McFadden and Judd Danielson are your top 10. They could be at the back of this thing before it's all said and done. A lot of drivers still in this race. We will get restarted with, 22 on this lead lap. Look for Richard Regan to protect his line on the bottom, not give anything to Farnyars here. Richard Regan's just got to pedal as hard as he can there on the top side. Hope for a little bit of help from Clewell, but maybe not too much. Don't want to get the car spun around. The Ford Mustang getting ready to pull off. Richard Regan kept him slow last time. Here we go, folks. Slow, slow, slow again. 65 miles an hour at the front. Richard Regan waits, very patient. The green flag ready to go. It's out. Regan is on the hammer. A much better start for Regan that time. Martin cannot get the car moving quick enough. Farnyars already giving him a little help here into the turn. Farnyars with a good stop himself, or a good restart there. He's able to hang out with Richard Regan, and again, they both get away. They're going to keep him glued to the bottom. Farnyars going to think about going up. He does. Farnyars right up in front of Jeff Martin. Whoa, Farnyars with the bold move. Cuts off Clewell. Clewell's going to drop back in. Our leader, Regan, getting some push there from Donald Stewart. Stewart with pretty good damage on the front end of that machine. He's got to be careful. Got to hold the line here. Very, very important. Here comes the top side running. Farnyars getting that push from the 15 of Jeff Martin. Farnyars gets a little loose there, has to get out, but Jeff Martin gets up the track. He loses his spot. Here comes Clewell up the middle, bringing Chris Scala along with him. Scala in the Mustang. We haven't talked about him at all. Now here he is. He's up in the fight. Oh, in the middle there. Car getting bounced around. That's the 84, I think it was. Josh Tanner getting roughed up a little bit there in the middle. Up front, though, back to the front. Farnyars moving all over the place. Folks, this is looking very, very sketchy. Our leader is still Richard Regan, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be. Donald Stewart has come up to the top line, got himself in front. Here we go. Across the start-finish line. Who are they going to give it to? Regan getting the push. Stewart getting the push. They're going to give it to Stewart across the line by about a half a car. Here we go. This is the point of no return. 4 laps to go. Oh, we got a bunch of cars. Galgan was involved in that. Yellow flag. Galgan was involved. Galgan and Michael Snow. Jeremy Crandall. Eric Stanford. Here's the replay. Try and get some kind of idea what happened. Boy, it looked like Stanford just kind of got run down the track there a little bit. The 19 gets out of shape, and it just all breaks loose from there. Galgan moves up a little bit. Oh, that was a terrible, terrible incident there late in this race. Boy, and they were really, really fighting up front for position. Folks, we are going to have a green-white checker for this finish at Talladega tonight. If you haven't been with us for one of those, let's talk about how the green-white checker works, basically. It's going to be the top 10. We'll restart this race after the pace car pulls off after the victory lap. So the entire field will take the checkered flag. After that checkered flag lap is over, the victory lap, the pace car will pull off. When that pace car pulls off, your top 10 will go at it for a shootout. A green-white-checkered finish. So we're going for a little overtime today, folks. The Top Shelf Mobile Detailing 250. Top Shelf Mobile, the sponsor of today's race. Raleigh, North Carolina's most experienced audio detailing company for over 35 years. Top Shelf Mobile Detailing has been making rides look new again. Folks, call Robert over there at 919-883-7497. Top Shelf Mobile Detailing. All right. So the caution is out, and they will pace around, I doubt, very, very seriously. Unless you picked up damage in an incident, I don't think any of our leaders will be coming down. Everybody should be good on fuel here. I don't see anybody in the field right now that shows to be in any danger for their fuel window. A couple of cars getting EOL penalties on that, Trey Galgan and Michael Snow, so they'll be lining up to the back of the field. And it looks like I believe Steve Durham going to get another wave around here. I wonder what's happened to Jeff Martin. I'm not seeing him on my screen here all of a sudden. Jeff Martin has gotten out of the car, folks. So I'm not sure what's going on with Martin there. Maybe he didn't have time for overtime. Not sure, but Martin has ended his race. Wow, that's a bit of a story. Martin, a front runner all night, now all of a sudden not in this race. Opening up opportunity for a lot of guys here. All right, so remember, we're setting up for the green-white checker now. This time by, they will take the white flag. Pace car still got a little ways to go here. 65 degrees pace, 65 degrees, 65 mile an hour pace speed. Fond memories of this track. Talladega Boulevard, probably one of the more interesting places you will ever visit. And where is Talladega Boulevard? Well, folks, just off to the left of the cars coming through here to the front stretch, just to the left of that, pretty much straight across in the infield there's a strip of camping sites that go down one road called Talladega Boulevard, and the motorhomes adorn both sides of the boulevard there, and well, it's basically bedlam for about 3 or 4 days, and all walks of life from all parts of the great United States. You actually have LSU fans mingling with Alabama fans and having fun, and Alabama fans partying with Georgia fans. It's quite a sight. It's much unlike the sight you would see at a college football game. It's better, and it's always alive, and it never ends. It's 24/7 for 3 to 4 days, however much time you can spend down there. But located right on Interstate 40, as you're coming through that area, all you really see are the Talladega Mountains and the forest there. And you look off just far enough, you can see the top of the main grandstand, the red and blue of the Talladega Super Speedway. And it's always a comforting sight when you drive through that part of the country. And like I said, it is visible from the interstate on a clear day. Sometimes you get a little fog down in the valley, though, there, and it's hard to spot. But it's been there since 1969. And guess what, folks? It's still one of the most exciting places in NASCAR to see a race. So Talladega not going away anytime soon from their schedule. I know we all yearn for a pass when there were no restrictor plates, but trust me, those days are long gone. I don't think we'll ever see the return of non-restrictor plate races at these super speedways in NASCAR. And whereas that may be a little sad, it is a lot safer for the drivers. So anyway, here we go. We're now lining up here down the backstretch and coming around. This will be the checkered flag when we come across the line, but the winner has not been decided. If you're just joining us, we have a green-white checkered flag here in the AdPro Results Challenger Series. They will line up, though, here at the line. Everybody's going to get ready. This will be the last pace lap. Remember, the pace car will come in. I may have this calculated incorrectly. We'll see here. Patiently waiting for the lights to go out. The drivers are starting to kind of bunch up a little bit. It may be one more lap that I've been selling here. All right, so we're going to come across the line here. Remember, pace car will peel in at the end of this lap, and then we'll go green for 2 laps. You see the rest of the field kind of peeling off, taking it easy. Leaving it here to the top 10. Let's run them down. Richard Regan, Donald Stewart, Gabriel Wood, Andrew Farnyars, Mark Clewell, Mark McFadden, Chris Scala, John Theodore, who had big trouble in the pits earlier, couldn't get the car in straight, Josh Tanner, and Judd Danielson. That's your top 10. Any one of those 10 could change positions, will change positions, and could win this race. Everybody else going to finish in the spot that they were in when the caution flag came out. Of course, any penalty picked up here in the green-white-checkered finish could change the result. Those results won't be official until we come back from break after this finish. The pace car is going to lead him here into turn 3 one last time. Here's that 75. The Alabama gang. Wouldn't be a race at Talladega with someone from the Alabama gang being up front, but Gabe Wood with a chance to put the Alabama gang on the top of the podium. It does exist. That Snowvaline Camaro could make it. Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to pull off. Regan going to lead him down once again. Donald Stewart on the top side. Taking it real easy, real easy. We've got no scoreboard here, folks. Here we go. Regan is away. The green flag is out. Donald Stewart gets slow on the start. Here comes Gabriel Wood. Wood with a rate run on the bottom. Farnyars trying to give a push there to the 78. Farnyars right up under the bumper. Donald Stewart gets just back a little bit here as we get through the turn. That's 75, though, moving Gabriel Wood right on the bumper there. Richard Regan trying not to hook him. Still pushing. Still pushing. Here comes Stewart on the top side. Farnyars giving it all the push he can. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. Look at him go. Stewart comes down to get some of that side draft. Door to door. The Alabama gang is pushing, baby. He started 28th. Gabriel Wood in second. A chance to win this race. They're going to come around for the white flag. Talladega Super Speedway. One more lap to go. Richard Regan across the line is your leader. Stewart still on the top side. The 65 of Mark Clewell leaves Chris Scala. The door is open for Scala. Scala going to try and come down. Clewell comes down on him. Clewell goes back up to his lane. The door is closed. Scala trying to bring it up. Not there. It's a dead heat down the super stretch here. Regan, Stewart. Regan, it's still Regan. Regan down on the bottom, getting a big push from Gabriel Wood. Here comes Gabriel Wood, trying to take second. Richard Regan on the hammer. Out of 4, through the tri-oval. Side by side, Donald Stewart, Gabriel Wood. Farnyars trying to push Stewart across the line. Oh, it's too close to call, but I think it was Richard Regan. My timing and score, it says Richard Regan. We'll have to wait until we get the official result, but boy, it sure looked like Richard Regan across the line first. Donald Stewart possibly second. Gabe Wood maybe third. Folks, wow, what a run across the line. Maybe we get a replay of the cars across the line there. If we could get that, maybe get a better view here of who came across first. As I said, we're not getting any help from timing and scoring here. On the top side here, there's the 78 Donald Stewart on the top side, getting that push from Farnyards. Gabe Wood trying to make the car a little bit wider, try to break their momentum a little bit. Regan just holding on, just grabbing that yellow line. That's where he wants to be. That's where he's safe. This is going to be close, but there it is, folks, and it does look like Richard Regan gets across that line first. You see it there, and he is the man celebrating out on track right now. But what a finish! We're going to take a really quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We're going to catch. I'm going to catch my breath for a second, get a quick drink of water, come back with the full results and a few interviews here. What a finish today! Thank you, and we'll be right back. Well, that wasn't exciting at all. Welcome back to the Top Shelf Auto Detailing 250. And that was some kind of race. 250 miles this evening here in the AdPro 360 Challenger Series. Now we're not going to have a graphic for you, but I'm going to run down the order here real quick for you, all right? The big win goes to Richard Regan this evening, the number 46 from New England. He gets your win. Donald Stewart going to be in second. A great run for the driver from Carolina. Folks, he gained 28 spots. He started in 30th, and he finished his second tonight on our podium. Gabe Wood, another driver, came from all the way in the back of the pack, 28th. Gabe finished on the podium in third. Andrew Farnyards put in some really, really tough work. Now, hang on, I'm trying to verify this here. Farnyards going to get fourth. In fifth, coming out of nowhere, Chris Scala. Scala with a fifth place finish this evening. The 48 of Mark McFadden going to finish sixth. Seventh going to go to the number 84. Let's see, Josh Tanner. Let's see. 9th to 10th, that's going to be the 27 John Theodore, and 17th there in 10th going to be Judd Danielson. Jason Eisenhower with an 11th place finish tonight. Mike Donahue, really, really quiet night for the 77. He got in some trouble, was able to recover from it. Eisenhower going to finish 11th, 15 spots up. I'm sorry, I already said Eisenhower. I was talking about Mike Donahue. Sorry, folks, I got out of line there. Donahue with a 12th place finish. He did start 33rd this evening. Troy Galgan, 13th. Eric Stanford, 14th. 15th, Gerald Campbell. Gary Sexton with a 16th place run. 17th, going to go to Kevin Fetty. Kyle Kammer, 18th tonight. Jeremy Crandall, 19th. Michael Snow, 20th. Steve Durham, 21st. 22nd, Jeff Martin. Ethan Moore. Tough break for Ethan Moore, man. He had a great car all night. He's going to finish 23rd. 24th to David Washington. Luis Salmaso will finish 25th. 26th, Adam Eisenhower. Michael D'Amico, who got in trouble earlier in this race, but does manage to get in 74 laps. He'll finish 27th. 28th to Dylan Jones. Will Davis, another tough break for a great drive this evening. Will Davis is going to finish 29th. 30th, Ray Richer. Vernon Margheim will finish 31st. 32nd, going to go to Blake Griffin. That is everybody that started the race. 5 other drivers did not make the green flag and did not make it in the race. But yes, I'll tell you what a race tonight. And now I'm sure we've got a couple drivers we'd like to talk to here. And let's check out and see who's waiting for an interview. Do we have our winner? Richard Regan, we do. Let's get Richard Regan, get him in for an interview. Richard, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is the partying begin to commence here? We're going to have a good one tonight?
Oh, definitely.
Listen, you put it on the pole, and then you immediately drop to the back of the field. We suspected that was strategy. Then I thought, well, maybe not. Maybe he's got a problem. What was going on there?
Yeah, it was strategy. In practice, when we had our pit parties, there was a lot of wrecking going on. So I just wanted to make sure the car was going to be safe for the end, and so I just dropped back. Didn't plan on going the lap down, though, but went a lap down. Got the lap back, and we were there at the end, and everything worked out perfect for us.
Who were your friends out there tonight? Give them some credit.
Well, Gabe Wood pushed me to the win, even though he said that he was sick and tired of not winning, so I guess he can be my friend. But, I mean, I didn't really go into the race with many friends. I don't know. This is my first race in this series. I run the Cup Series a lot, so a lot of new faces I haven't seen, but very impressed with everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was an impressive race. It was a shame to get those couple cautions there at the end, but it looked like you had the speed. Because now I know it was a last-minute decision to kind of change the qualifying this evening. Did that really affect your mindset for qualifying, or did you really know that you had a good first lap qualifying run in that car?
It didn't really change much for strategy-wise. This car was definitely, I think, the fastest car in the field the entire night. This thing just did whatever I wanted it to. It could really control both lanes when I was in the lead. When I was on the outside line, I can get around the dude on the bottom fine. This car was just wicked stout.
Well, Richard, congratulations on the big win here tonight. You're also going to win $22 courtesy of Mark McFadden. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank him for putting up the race purse. Everybody at Gen X Racing, they do awesome work over there. Neonism, F1 Sim Games, you guys at GSRC, and definitely AMSOIL, because without AMSOIL, this car would not be this fast, because that oil definitely helped tonight. Make sure you guys all go to www.amsoil.com/PC to go get your AMSOIL products.
All right. Well, Richard, we thank you, and hopefully we get a chance to talk to you again here in the near future.
Thank you so much.
And that was Richard Regan. He is your winner tonight here at Talladega Superspeedway. Now we're going to talk to Donald Stewart. Big run for Donald tonight. A really, really big run from a long way back. Donald, can you hear me? Donald, wait for your mic to come up there. We'll give Donald just a second. Some of the drivers a little new to the Discord and how it works.
Okay, I think I got you.
Yes, that's it. You got it, buddy. All right.
Yeah, I had to go to the settings. It was on the wrong microphone and headset.
That's Donald, no problem, buddy. Wow, congratulations. You can't come from much farther back than that, buddy.
No, sir. That was my game plan, is to start from the back. And the Stuart Hovish Chevy Camaro was really fast tonight. I kept it clean all night. I just wanted to stay in the back, run that first stage, and see how everything went. Everything went really good. So we decided that the next stage we were going to move up a little bit, which we did. Got about a middle pack. We tested the waters right there, and they seemed to be pretty good. So we just kind of moved forward and tried to stay up front from there on.
Donald, tonight you're going to get a little extra money from the sponsor from Stewart and Hovis Construction, you'll get $15 tonight.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm the one that is giving that money. So actually, I saved myself a little bit of money.
Yeah, you keep it in your pocket tonight. Yeah, that's a great job there, Donald. Hey, listen, the cars were all over the place tonight. I mean, we saw you had some front end damage on the car. It really wasn't an easy race tonight, was it?
No, you really had to be on your toes the whole night. You couldn't really relax. You had to, see what the pack was doing in front of you and try to guess where to go if there was a big one.
Well, the Stewart and Hovis machine was a hot one tonight, and for your efforts, you finished second and on the podium. Congratulations, sir. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yes, sir. From the Stewart Hovis Construction family, I'd just like to give our sincere condolences to Mark for his losses that he's going through right now. The whole iRacing community is thinking about him. We're all behind him, and if he needs anything, he knows that we're here for him. And I'd also like to thank my painter who painted up my car, John Hedrick at Over the Tops Paint and Design. Awesome painter. I just want to give a little plug out to him.
Excellent. Donald, we thank you, my friend. We'll see you next time.
10-4. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
That was Donald Stewart, our second place finisher tonight, the Stewart and Hovis Construction number 78. And now we've caught up with Gabe Wood. Gabe, can you hear me, my friend?
Gotcha.
Gabe, we're talking to you again, man. Big run tonight, man. You started 28th. You finished third. What happened out there?
Man, I don't know. I think I may have had a dragging brake pedal or something. I didn't want to qualify up front, but I sure as heck didn't want to do that. But, I mean, I took the most of it and just started, toward the back and just kind of rode there for the first stage. Got up there and got some stage points in the second stage and then was right there at the end.
Well, Gabe, it was a great race. A lot of moving around, cars flying around all over the place. You managed for the most part to keep it out of trouble. What was the one moment in the race you thought it was all going to go away from you there?
When I think all the Aegis guys on the top side got wrecked there with about 10 laps to go. Dave Washington, Frenars, and Stanford. When they all got together, I saw Dave get sideways, and I saw the 98, right there in front of me, and I was like, "That's not good." So I slammed on the brake, and I'm lucky nobody hit me from behind. I ducked it right down to there to the bottom, and I got to look back at that replay because it had to have been close.
Well, for your finish tonight, you are going to get $7, courtesy of Stewart and Hovis Construction.
All right.
A little bonus there for you tonight, a little something for the effort. And we congratulate you, my friend.
Go.
So, anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, thanks to Michael Snow for putting me in the car yet again for the year. He hadn't had the runs he's needed to, but we're working on it. He had a good run going tonight. Just kind of fell apart there at the end for him. But, you guys up in the broadcast booth, and I'd like to have a special shout out to the guy who finished 6th, Mark McFadden, who put up the winner's purse tonight. Some of you, I don't know if you guys cover it in the broadcast, but he just recently lost both of his brothers in the span of about a month. So, we're all thinking of him. So, it's good that he can kind of come in here and just kind of forget about it for a little while. So, shout out to Mark. He ran great tonight.
Yeah, he did, and certainly our thoughts go out to him and his family as well. A great little tribute there to his brothers this evening by putting up some money, the $22 signifying the fact that he lost both of them in the last 22 days. Mark certainly overcoming the tragedy of losing a couple of family members and being able to race this evening with you guys, pretty special.
Yeah, it is. Also, a shout out. The spirit of the late, great Neil Bonnet drove me to this third place finish tonight. So, sporting the Alabama gang colors. It was a last minute decision, and turns out for the better.
Yeah, it did. It worked out for you, and it was cool to see Neil Bonnet on the top of the car there. And again, congratulations on your third place finish tonight, and we will see you soon, Gabe.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, that was our third place finisher completing our podium there, Gabriel Wood. And We're all out of breath, folks. That's it. We're done this evening. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of people to thank this race tonight, and we would like to, again, thank Mark McFadden for his generous donation there for the winner. And, again, our prayers and thoughts with him and his family. We would like to thank all the organizers and competitors of the Simulated Stock Car Association and the AdPro 360 Challenger Series for coming out here tonight and putting on a great show. AdPro 360 is an advertising agency that specializes in digital and social media marketing. For more information, go to adproresults.com. We would like to thank all of the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcasts. There you see them listed on your screen now. Additional thanks go out to Eric Ekholm and Casey the Lion, who provide us with the great music you hear on all of our broadcasts. See the screen, try to get a hold of them, and more of their great work. Thanks to the team today, Samuel Ryman, Joe, always at his peak, Dougie Beard. We do thank you, gentlemen. If you'd like to find out more about Global SimRacing Channel, visit us at our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. Folks, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a subscriber here on this YouTube channel. Catch us on social media, Twitter, at GSR Channel, Facebook. Just go over there and type in Global SimRacing Channel, one word. You'll find us. We're also on the gram now, Instagram. That's right, GSRC_gram. You see some upcoming races on the screen now. That's for other series that we've got going here. More coming, folks. Check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. And don't miss another second of exciting racing action on the Global Sim Racing Channel. But, folks, until next time, we're going to lock up the gate. We're going to go storm the castle for old buddy Soup. Until then, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.